We love to inspire and reward
Billions of business souls
to gamify their life
to share products and services
they care deeply about.
so they experience
the magical power.
of referral marketing.
Welcome to the next episode of the NaXum podcast. I'm Gail, and I'm here with CEO Ben Dixon and Tammy Russaz. And today we're going to talk about how to have a relevant direct selling company in 2023. As the world becomes increasingly digital, the landscape of direct selling has also been transformed. To have a relevant direct selling company in 2023, businesses have to adapt to the changing market, from the trends down to consumer behavior and technological advancements. So we're going to talk more about that today. How about we kick it off with Tammy?
Yeah, thank you so much, Gail. We were having this conversation just a little while ago.
Sure.
We talk about the differences from years ago to today, and something that's really important that is absolutely needed is data. We talk about transactional into the leading indicators, into what is making and helping companies be successful, which is the predictive actions. But, if I'm going to get deep into it, we're going to kind of do a little high overview. Imagine going into a company and as your position, you have this magic hat. People want you to be able to give you the data to help them do well, to help companies grow. And there is no magic hat. How are we supposed to know what we're optimizing in the training, in promotions, and even in the shareable content? So in order to go deeper, we have to take from the transactional to leading indicators to what we call predictive actions. And that's allowing companies to actually have the data to make good decisions, to understand what companies are needing, and to understand how to move to the next place in your business. And imagine feeling like you have that leader, that top leader sitting right next to you because you're given not just a magic hat, but you actually have the data to do that. I mean, Ben, you know this better than anyone. You're the one who schooled me
Sure.
on a lot of this and from our technology. So please share your perspective.
Yeah, it is a misconception that a lot of folks have. If you were in a direct-to-consumer business, you would be using, if that was outside of referral marketing, many times you'd be using advertising or pay-per-click marketing, and you'd have all kinds of data, not just on transactions like sales and subscriptions information, but you'd have the data on what's creating those. So the leading indicators, right? Is it people attending webinars or people going to this website or watching this video sales letter? And then how are people coming to that? Was it a paid ad or was it a placement advert? We'd have all of those inside of a normal direct-to-consumer flow. We get into referral marketing, and a lot of people throw that out the window. They think in referral marketing, well, we don't have that information because we just have referral agents. And so we have this weird expectation. I love how you call it the magic hat. I know we've gotten to talk about that in our most recent study with a lot of clients. It's this, and the magic hat story it comes from that weird expectation that we expect CEOs, CMOs, CSOs of direct selling companies say to put on this magic hat like Mickey Mouse, and they're somehow supposed to be able to look at sales and subscriptions and know. They're supposed to know all the most efficient and effective ways to optimize their promotions and their shareable content and their training inside of the ecosystem. And we don't have information on leading indicators. We don't know how many people are attending webinars, how many people are going to the landing pages, how many, and what's actually getting them there. We don't know the predictive things that are getting them there. And so we have to fix that. And that's a lot of the work that we've been doing inside of NaXum, is building predictive systems to track the text messages, to track the posts in social media, to track the webinar registrants, so that we can make better decisions. I definitely see that as the first way people can be relevant today, is actually is forgetting to thinking that they have any sort of magic, and just getting back to real data and the real science of just looking at the numbers and what they can do to make it better. It'll help make better decisions. The second part I'm seeing, Tammy, today, and I think there's three good ones for today as we do this on the podcast. The second one is just doing good. I know we talk about brands all the time. You and I are always getting approached with different brands, and there's an expectation today that when you do business with somebody long term, that you're not just wanting an exchange of my money for your product or your service, but I'm
Mhm.
also wanting to put my money. I have options, right? As a consumer, I want to put my money in a place where that company is doing good. So whether I'm passionate about pets and animal safety with this cruelty-free beauty cream, or whether I'm passionate about, assisting retired veterans, and that this company gives money to the Wounded Warrior Project, like you want to be public today with like how you do good inside the space.
Mhm.
And we could go back over a decade ago to brands like Tom Shoes and went viral just off of a do good strategy, right? Buy a pair of Toms and they give a pair of Toms away to some kid in poverty who needs shoes. And women all over the world and men said,
Mhm.
I'll buy some Toms, right? Just because of that. And it hasn't gone out of style. I love this topic of the podcast. Like being relevant today and doing good are still top of mind game.
Yep.
It's still something you have to be thinking about. Tammy, what before we move to the third one, what have been some of your favorite ways you've seen companies live out like doing good today? Just for anyone who's listening.
Yeah, I mean, one of the companies, there's a company, a skin company that I really like, and they're all about eco-friendly. They're all about giving back. They're all about helping helping people with when you buy a product, they give a product, right? Similar to what Tom's
Mm,
did. And to be able to provide that type of service, to be able to make you feel better, be able to donate, because a lot of the things they do also isn't only eco-friendly, but they take their donate whatever products were bought and they take that amount. Because not, if we're thinking about it, you're not going to see somebody in a poverty-stricken area worrying about their skincare as much, right? So what they do is they
sure.
take that and they translate that into food. They translate that into
Mm,
services. They translate that into different charities for that specific company. And when I see that, it makes me want to buy. It makes me want to
mhm,
stay with them, because knowing that it's not just, hey, they're making money, they're, becoming very profitable, but they're actually caring. They're caring about people, and they know maybe they can't service them this way, but how can we bring some happiness into their life? How can we put food on their table? How can we give them things that help their families? So when I see companies like that, that lights me up. And there's now a number of companies doing it because they realize that this is more than just a service of products. It's a service of humanity. It's a service of giving
yeah.
back. It's a service of kindness. And it's nice because in the different climates that we've experienced over the last few years, having kindness, having that wanting to actually give back in a way that's so impactful and powerful, that's really how companies are going to grow, as far as their fan base. And when they have
Yeah.
that, and then they have the right tools on top of it, they
Yeah.
are
Loyalty.
unlimited. Yep,
Yeah. Yeah, it's all
absolutely.
that loyalty you get from doing good. You look at if I can go to company A or company B and get my product or service, but company B has a cause that I'm passionate about,
Hmm.
you're going to stay with company B long term.
Absolutely.
It doesn't cost you anything extra as a consumer, and you're going to do that. And the last note for the podcast that I would share is if you move through thinking through your data properly so you can make better decisions and stop assuming, right? Because assuming is expensive, and you have a core path to do good. The last one would be to always, always, always have a customer rewards program. For years, referral marketing companies, it was kind of like a novelty thing to have a customer rewards program. It might be 1 out of 10 clients that came through our world here at NaXum who would say, oh yeah, we're going to have not just our comp plan for our distributors or our referral partners, but we're also going to have, a customer rewards program for retail customers. And where it used to be 1 out of 10 would have that, today we're seeing like 10 out of 10, right? Companies having customer rewards programs inside of the space. So this is a big deal. And if you're in the space and you're not running a customer rewards program, whether that be, points that they earn when they subscribe that they can redeem for additional product, or whether that be special pricing they get after being subscribed for X number of months, or whether that be referring a friend and getting a gift card, or referring a number of friends and getting free service monthly, whatever that is in your world, it's important, not just for increasing loyalty, but it also is a sign. So if you have a referral marketing company, you are always looking for like, hey, who is our next ambassadors or affiliates? And by having a customer rewards program, it gives you an opportunity to see who your fans are, like your super fans, right? And when they raise their hand as a super fan, it's like, oh wow, I could introduce that person to our referral marketing program.
Hmm.
And you're right on. It's what tees them up for it, gang. So those would be the big three that I'd invite you to check out. If you have not plugged into those, or you want to see how they do them, booking a time even to meet with Tammy would be one of the a perfect first step. If you're checking out the podcast and you haven't sat down with Tammy and I together, I'd invite you to go to www.naxumtour.com and pick a time to meet, because we see these all the time in our meetings. Tammy and I see what it feels like and what it looks like for so many different types of companies. And by setting up a time to connect together and sharing with us some of the things you've already done, we'll be able to share with you real examples of how we've seen these principles make a difference in people's
Absolutely.
lives. With that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Gaelle. Thank you so much for having us on today.
Of course. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. I'm sure that our listeners and the people watching this on YouTube will be happy to learn all about how to become a relevant direct selling company in 2023. So just to recap, there are 3 points today. So those are the predictive actions and the data. That's very important. We have doing good and having a good customer rewards program. So thank you so much for being on the podcast today. Thank you for listening. If you're watching us, you can also listen to us on Spotify, Anchor.fm, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Bye
Take
for
care.
now.